there, Briar here again for Fly Girl Fitness. So just to follow up from last week, we did our 4A's, and today we're going to do our 4S's. So the first one is self-awareness, and we have talked quite a bit about that in the past few weeks, but just quickly to reiterate, we want to be very conscious and aware of where we are at in our day-to-day routines in life, in how we are perceiving things, how we are talking to people, how we are reacting to people, whether there are things going on in other areas of our life that are affecting our mindset and how we are going through our day-to-day actions. So the tracking that we have talked about, our journaling, using our tracking sheet that I sent you, is a really great way to stay on top of our own self-awareness. So that is the first S, and something to be conscious of. The second one is our stories. So we all have our own story of our life and things that have happened in our lives, and we are completely believing that our stories are true. And they're true to us. However, they may not be true to other people. So when I say that, I mean the people around us in our lives may perceive our stories differently than we perceive them ourselves. And if they were part of that story, they may have a completely different outlook on how that story happened. And that's why for example, when we are having an argument or discussion with somebody, it's really great to not bring up the past because what we believe is true is totally different than what the other person believes is true. So leaving the past in the past is really important when we are dealing with a current situation or looking towards our future. And being aware of what our stories are. So again, going back and journaling, we talked a little bit in week 1 about journaling our own postnatal stories, our postpartum depression, and how we managed becoming a mother, and how we viewed that and the things that changed in our lives and what our story was regarding that. So again, just looking at our past stories and journaling about them, getting them out on paper. You don't have to read them ever again. You don't have to have anybody else look at them. It is really just to go through that process and talking through what our own stories are. So as we go week by week and you're continuing your journaling process, when I ask you to journal about something specific, it could be journaling about that topic in the here and now, but it could also be about talking about and journaling about the stories related to that same topic. So keep that in mind as well. I'm looking at my list here. Okay, so the third S is our soil, and soil is our mindset. So if we think about using our mindset or our soil as a metaphor and thinking about the garden of our mind, really, we wouldn't want to plant seeds into an unideal soil, right? So we wouldn't want to plant in a soil that is filled with chemicals or that is already fully gardened or that hasn't been weeded in years, right? And the same goes for our mindset. It's really hard to plant new thoughts and progressive thoughts and new ideas in our mind if we are stuck in our past stories. If we are in a negative mindset, or if those bound nature thoughts and bound nature voices in our head are taking over. So we want to think about clearing that soil, clearing our mindset, being open to new ideas and thoughts and experiences along the way. And that is sort of a very, very brief description of the soil in our mind. Okay. The last one is a word called Sawubona, and this is a Zulu word, and it's actually a Zulu greeting. That is how they interact with each other when they see each other on the streets. They say Sawubona for hello. They also say it for goodbye sometimes, and the meaning of Sawubona is I see you. That is the direct translation, is I see you. And this is an incredible topic or thought to go through, because often in our culture we see people on the street and we say, hey, how are you? And often we say that as we continue to walk past them, right? We're not actually stopping to hear their response. And what if they aren't doing well? What if they really do need to talk to you? What if they're having a horrible, horrible day and you are the only person who has asked them how they're doing that day, and yet you're not actually ready to listen to their response, right? So the idea of Sawubona and saying to someone, I see you. I am truly here. I am present with you. I am connecting with you, and I want to acknowledge you on a human level is really, really powerful, right? And in fact, this is something I want you to think about with yourself as well. You know, day in and day out, we go through our daily actions and we're so busy and we're just trying to get everything done on our to-do list. But are we even stopping to ask ourselves how we're doing? Are we stopping to say, I see you. I know where you're at right now. I am conscious of the feelings that I'm having and where I'm at in my day today. And we don't do that. We don't take those moments. So when I'm asking you in your daily actions to stop and breathe, and each week we're adding more and more breaths, yes, this is a moment to just stop in your day, focus on yourself, calm yourself down, calm your mind, clear that soil in your head, and allow yourself to be peaceful for a few moments. And maybe at the start of those breaths or at the end of those breaths, you could say to yourself, Sawubona. I see you. I am conscious and aware of where I am currently at. My self-awareness is there. And this is really important to do for ourselves, but also for the people around us. So those are the 4 S's. Yes, your self-awareness, your stories, your soil, and Sawubona. So take a little bit of time this week to let that sink in. You can journal about all of those 4 S's or parts of those 4 S's. And if you have questions about them, please let me know. Sometimes I really am giving you a brief overview of these topics and thoughts, and that's on purpose. I want you to take the ideas and then let them manifest within you. But if you want to discuss them with me and talk about them further, I am here. So let me know. All right. Have a great week.